No, that's not how I'm starting. I can't think of it. I can't think of anything. I don't know why. Every so often, I just can't think of a good opening to start this with, and it just comes up blank.
We're still babies.
Well, I mean, kinda, but like, I don't know. Welcome back to the Tu-Vie Podcast, your TV movie entertainment needs podcast. I am your host, James, and sitting with me, as always, is Colin. How you doing, bud?
What's up?
Ooh, rock on. I think it's the first time you've ever done like a rock on thing. I feel like you feel like you are the kind of guy
No,
whenever
we're
there's
gonna
like a
do it
group.
again because you draw so much
Well,
attention to
I
it.
just feel like you're the kind of guy that like in a group setting, it's like you guys want to do something, just like that's just your go-to response.
I Going into work, I normally don't know how to. I as I've like started meeting more and more strangers back in where we're living, I've
Mhm.
noticed how and you've seen it too that
Yeah.
I'm getting more and more antisocial to where I'm like a
Well, you
chihuahua.
you you've
Like
gone
wait,
from a place that's like super social, like that's like interactive, I guess is a correct word. And then here it's all everyone's kind of like minding their own business.
y- do you notice that? I
Oh,
kind of know
absolutely.
the opposite where
Really?
where I used to live, it was like anti I guess also there's a component to the fact that when I first moved there, it was like a big move and I
Yeah.
was like taken away from like my comfort place.
Well,
And
now
then
now it's happened again.
now it's happened again. And now I'm realizing that's just a life thing.
Yeah.
And
You're 0 for
it,
2, man. Let's get
yeah.
into
And
it.
I do the peace sign when I go into work and I hate myself for it because we're like, hey, Colin, how you doing? I'm like, and then I walk away
That's not.
back. At,
That's not. I think double. You do double, not
I do.
one, not either one. You do double. You want to make sure you get both sides of the aisle.
I want to make sure everyone saw it.
Wow.
You get one and you
You
get
don't
one.
have. Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, you do. I can't. I
That's
can't
how
get
we
over you
start
doing
the
double.
episode.
I'm sorry. I can't get over you doing. Yeah. Let's get into
And
the
you wanna
episode.
know what is pretty Dune, if I
Yes. Yes.
just thing about that movie.
Yeah. So let's slow down a bit. So continuing with our trend of writers, I know that the strike for WGA is officially over, and we will get into that in a little bit. But we want to just for a while still kind of do this as a really fun thing because I had fun doing this. I had fun really like going back and watching specifically the movies that they wrote, talking about it, understanding it more. Um, and as you know, the WGA is finalizing that contract and everything. Well, it's actually finalized by the time this episode's come out. And we're recording. We still want to keep with it because I think the writers still deserve their fair credit. So today we are talking about Denis Villeneuve, and I know Cameron is not here to correct it like he did last episode, which I felt bad getting it wrong that many times, but I just never heard it the correct way until that one fateful Saturday morning. So that's
Yeah.
that.
Dude, this guy's a legend.
This guy's killer. Like outside of his directing, which he's more so. You said something on our prep call that I didn't want to correct just yet. I wanted to correct here,
Okay.
but like we normally do with the director, before we say the name and everything. What is there? You have to guess the top four known for.
Okay, top 4 they're known for,
Yeah,
Blade Runner 2049, Dune, Prisoners, and Enemy? Because those are my top 4 that I know him from that, had, huge buzz, especially with Hugh Jackman in Prisoners and Enemy.
yeah, Enemy. I
And
really forgot about Enemy.
oh, Enemy is, my personal
Yeah,
favorite.
wow. It is really. It's another Jake. Is it? It's not okay.
Jake
It's Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal. Wow.
He plays a man that is going through psychological breakdown where he is now, he psychologically split himself into two people, one more loyal than the other,
Hmm.
and it just goes into this huge thing. It gets really crazy, but the imagery of spiders in that movie is prevalent. And if you hate spiders,
I hate
there
spiders. I hate
there's
spiders with a
there's
fiery
one
passion.
there is one jump scare that I'm never gonna tell you, but one day we're gonna watch. You haven't seen Enemy, right?
No, I actually
Okay.
haven't.
Wow. Holy.
You
Wow.
know how much I hate spiders? I don't know if you've written. I think we talked about this off camera, you and I. The Harry Potter ride where you go into
I hate
Hogwarts.
that ride. I hate it because
Well,
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you hate it for the same reason. I personally enjoy that ride because it's the one where you're going through Hogwarts, and it's a very, I mean, Universal's like lines and their sets and everything for like the ride is it's so good.
No, it is.
It's
But
I'd say it's equal to Disney at on not every ride, but some rides. Um, so you're walking in and then you get in the little box thing and it's like soaring and you're doing yeah that one. There's a part where you go into the I guess spoilers if you haven't ridden it, but it's a
the
ride.
Dark Forest,
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. You're a bigger Harry Potter fan. Oh, you hear the Dumbledore died? The
which
the second one, that one that was living, he died. I want to say either Friday or Thursday.
wow.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Hold on, I'm sorry. Hold on.
I mean, I'm sad, but he actually had a pretty good life.
He had a very. I
I'm
think he. Yeah, I
I'm
think he
I'm
did like.
hoping that it was of natural causes and not like, you know.
Yes, Michael Gambon. Michael Gambon. He died.
He was also in
Uh,
the Lord of the
oh,
Rings, right? Or was that Magneto? I feel like we've had this argument
I don't
before.
think Magneto was in Lord of the Rings, man. You talking about Michael
Yeah.
Fassbender?
No, no, the
Oh, sorry, you're talking
older
about Ian McKellen.
Ian
Yes, Ian
McKellen.
McKellen was Gandalf. Sir
Okay.
Ian McKellen, actually. So
'Cause
yes, Michael.
I get Michael and Ian confused, and I don't know why. Can you see the resemblance, or am I just crazy?
What answer do
It's
you
when
want? What answer do you
I
want
get
to hear?
it's when they're, like, dressed up as Gandalf and Dumbledore, when you put them together.
I mean, yeah, that was like the joke of everyone getting him mixed up. But for reference, he was the guy that played the new Arthur in the Kingsman, the Golden Circle movie.
Kingsman: The Golden Circle, he played Arthur.
He played the new Arthur for like 3 minutes, and then
Oh,
I guess
was it in that boardroom meeting thing?
yeah. Either way,
Ish.
so
Okay.
Michael Gammon, he died September 27th. So he lived a very good, very long, very good life. Like
Very
he lived a
successful life.
very successful and Daniel Radcliffe had a really nice post saying like he was really blessed to be like one of the few people that got to work with him. So he seemed like a nice guy. So for other Harry Potter fans, uh, uh, you're with us. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan though, but it is sad to see that guy pass away.
Yeah.
You're a Harry Potter fan,
I
right?
hope no, I'm a Harry Potter fan, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
like
that.
big
I
Harry
never read
Potter
the
fan.
book.
Like
I never read the books, I only watched the movies, and,
that's fine.
I mean, not true, I've read some of the I but I don't remember enough to count them as me,
Okay.
anyway,
Did you
I was
buy a
young.
one?
I bought a one at Universal. I
You
got,
did.
Professor Snape's.
What was his? I actually don't remember what his looks like. Hold on.
He was also another actor that sadly passed away. He was the,
Yes,
Russian
Alan
villain
Rickman.
in Die Hard.
Yeah,
Alan
Alan
Rickman.
Rickman. Yeah,
Great, great
I
character.
think personally one of my favorite movies of his is Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver.
I've never seen that one.
Oh, really? Dude, that is
Oh,
the spoof movie of sci-fi spoof movies. It's
thought that was
fantastic. No, that's like a spoof on Star Wars with Mel Brooks. This one is like
you're right.
this one is like if Star Trek was real, but everybody else was in like denial. Like it's really hard to explain. You got to watch it if you haven't seen it. It's a very very funny movie. I know everyone's a little divisive with Tim Allen. I get that. It's just that I love that movie because it's like very funny. Sam Rockwell, so funny. Young Sam Rockwell, by the way, so funny. Oh, that's what
Sam
Snape's
Rockwell is a
Snape's one looks rad, dude.
yeah.
I just saw that.
I
Yeah,
think that's I don't think I still have it. I think it's somewhere. Oh man, I left it back at the
you left it
house.
back at the okay. It's still in storage.
Ah.
It's still in storage. You're fine. You're okay. You're fine.
Uh,
What am I trying to say? What are we talking about? Oh, the ride. God, we literally haven't talked about Dune in the last 5 minutes. So I'm gonna wrap this up real quick.
all
There's a
right.
part in the Harry Potter ride where you're in Hogwarts. I don't know what it's actually called. I just call it the ride around Hogwarts. But there's a part where you leave Hogwarts. God, I need a coffee. Hogwarts, and you go into the
Yeah.
dark forest, and there's like spiders all around you. And I didn't know that, so I'm closing my eyes, and it's with me, Cameron, a buddy of ours, Jake, and we're riding around in it. And I'm like, I can't. I'm crying. I hate it. Cameron like taps me on the arm. He goes, "All right, it's over." I stupidly listened to him and I open up my eyes right at the part where the big one, like you zoom in onto it, it's like a giant animatronic, it jumps at you and everything. I punched him in the leg. Like I couldn't. And in the photo, right as on the house they take your photo, it's me like terrified, like moments before I got hit by a car level face.
God.
I
Dude,
love that ride.
I hate that ride for a different reason, which is that I waited hours to go on that ride, expecting it to, like, because I was told that it was gonna go super fast, and it was, like, gonna be and I was like, "Oh, I'm pretty
It
excited."
wasn't slow though.
I'm also young and dumb as well, so this is the context of me being young
Yeah, but
and dumb,
like,
with 2 key factors. But, dude, that spider, I don't did it ever spray you? Because it sprayed me.
did it
That's the
spray?
I was like, oh, because I didn't know we were gonna go into the dark
Yeah.
forest. I didn't know also because it was in Hogwarts, so I thought we were gonna take a tour all around Hogwarts. But I guess
Those
the dark
guys will
forest
lie to
down,
you.
and then we go in, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is a little too real for me right now." And because those spiders are pretty, like,
They're
they're
stupid,
very
dude.
big. I don't know if it was supposed to do something, but, like, there was water sprayed at me when the giant spider came up, but my mouth was open, and it was it was salty.
Ew,
And
it's salty?
I don't think that was an
That's
important detail, but I just
disgusting.
to point that out, and
Oh, that's
I
so
wanna go
gross.
back on that ride just to see if that spider squirts on me again.
Well, okay. When I wrote it a few times. I still close my eyes. I knew when that part was coming up. I could tell by the music. Um, I never got hit with water, and I sat in different spots. So I guess if it's like a specific chair, you get hit with water. I don't know, but it is such a cool ride. The way they have that arm mechanic making like do like you almost do like a 180.
Daniel
Pretty rad.
Radcliffe has an acting credit on that ride on his IMDb.
Yeah, man, you should. That's everybody should get acting credit on that ride.
It
I
was pretty
did
cool.
though. I did get I did get a butterbeer for the first time when I was at Universal.
How was it?
It was so good. If you haven't had it, go try it. If you're listening somehow to this, go for it. Let's get into Dune. What am I doing? I could do this for hours. Okay, Denis Villeneuve, and your top four known for is incorrect. It is Dune, Blade Runner 2049, Incendies, and Arrival.
I forgot about Arrival.
Yeah, and I know that 3 out of the 4 that were listed were not him writing. So the writers for Arrival were Eric Hesser and Ted Chiang. I hope I'm saying those names right. I really, really do. I want to make sure those writers get the credit they deserve from the movies. And then the right. Oh, sorry, I take it back. Denis Villeneuve. Vi- Denis
Yeah,
Villeneuve. I'm gonna do it all the time. Did partially write Incendies. It also did it with Wajidi Muad. I really hope I'm saying that right. And then Valerie Beaugrand Champagne. That's a cool name. I
champagne,
Beauregard Champagne. I think it's like it was like a hyphen. It's a sick
nice.
last name. And then for Blade Runner 2049, it was Hampton Thatcher, Michael Green, and Philip K. Dick. And then of course for Dune, it was Denis Villeneuve. So you rewatched Dune for this. That was the first movie I watched because that was something he both directed and wrote at the same time. And for
Mhm.
me, it was one of the better movies of 2021. Not a lot were coming out at that time. I think movies were starting to roll back. I think like some movies were coming out, and it won like 8 Oscars. I think 9
Dune?
Oscars. Yeah, Dune won like 9 Oscars. I think it almost swept.
Nothing must have been happening in 2021 then if they just got all the Oscars.
Well, I mean, if you watch the movie, it
Well,
deserved it.
I'm not I don't mean that in a bad way, I just mean that, like, they didn't he Dune didn't have a lot of good competitors, I
Well, it
guess.
was best
I'm
visual effects, best original score, best cinematography, best production design, best adapted screenplay, best picture, best sound, best film editing, best costume design, which duh. I mean, yeah, best makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah, that makes sense,
Yeah, those it won. Oh, it says it
especially with
won.
best adaptive
Hold
screenplay
on, it says it won
because
6, but I just listed off like 12. Oh, I think those were the things it was nominated for. Oh, oops, my bad. But either way, it won a lot. It won a lot, and it was. Do you think this is Jason Momoa's best movie? It's it's really hard for it to not be.
you're gonna punch me through the screen.
Oh,
I
good.
think no,
Don't you dare say
not
Aquaman.
wait. No, I wasn't gonna say Aquaman, I was gonna say in Fast X, this character was amazing.
Okay. Yes, I think he made Fast X more entertaining than any other
That was
person could.
Jason Momoa's movie.
Yeah, that really was. And I love that little leap he does when he gets in the car. He's like, "Let's go." Like that little leap he does. That brought me back in. I was
And
like,
that, like, weird Joker scene where all the dead guys
yeah,
are
I felt
trapped.
like that was very Joker. And someone's like, bro, Jason Momoa should be the Joker in the new DC universe. I'm like, isn't he like four other characters right now? Like he's been rumored that he's Lobo. So
Yeah.
which I think would be sick. Jason
That
Momoa as Lobo would be
Jason
freaking
Momoa
rad.
basically played Lobo in Fast X, if you think about it.
He was just a much happier Lobo. There
Yeah,
was no
he's
space
just
dolphins. There was no space dolphins though.
Miss Space Dolphins. What
Did
does
you
that
ever
ref
play it? Huh?
what does that reference mean, by the way?
Lobo loves the space dolphins in the DC universe.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not a huge Lobo fan, but I didn't know that. Cool. Alright, Lobo likes space dolphins, Deadpool likes stuffed unicorns. It's cool.
Yeah, I know. The niche Lobo Deadpool community are really just cheering right now.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's stay on Dune. I don't know what is with me today.
No,
So
it's my fault too.
no, no.
It's a
Welcome to TV
weird day,
podcast. You know,
sad day.
going old
Does
school
that mean
today.
anything?
Yeah. Uh, Dune for me, I think I know if Cameron was here, which he had to go for work. Totally get it. Uh, I feel like if he was here, he would. I think he'd be one of the few people that does really enjoy it. Everybody else I've known, like have met, didn't really enjoy it. And I understand their reasoning because like, oh, it's so slow, it's so boring. Like I get what your reasoning is. I just disagree because I think with the first shocker, I disagree on a podcast. I think the first movie isn't meant to be like in a needed moment of action and all these different things. It's just meant to kick off the story. Like essentially, it's ironically, it's a new hope in terms of like what the story is. So like it's setting up
And A
these
New Hope is
characters.
pretty slow at parts too.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's only really like a few action scenes in A New Hope. There's the Death Star, there's like the Battle of Scarif. Not Battle of Scarif, that's Rogue One. There's the pretty much it's the first Death I don't remember, I can't remember the name of the fight. It's the first Death Star scene, which is kind of, the end of the movie. Spoilers, they blow it up. But I think because with Dune, the
Shut
bigger
up. Everyone's seen Star Wars.
I don't know. You never know. But with Dune, the bigger and spoiler warning for Dune as well. We're gonna get into that in every other movie we're gonna be getting into as well. So just spoiler warning from here on out.
We
Should
should
have done
just
this.
have, like, a sign above
Yeah,
your head
I should have done this maybe
instead of
10
saying
minutes ago.
spoiler, just say common sense.
I should have done this earlier. But either way, the big fight between the House Atreides and the Harkonnens, I think the bald headed people, the pale guys.
Yeah.
I think they're the
Uh,
Harkonnens.
those they are
Dave
whack
Batista
to look
is
at.
such a stupid good actor, dude. He's so good. Like he's in
I
there for
see
maybe 2 minutes. Did you say he's passable?
No, I said I was about to say I see why he chose not to do any more comedies
Oh,
because he wanted
1000%.
but then you were talking, and then I was like, I have to learn not to interrupt and
No,
just
no,
let.
it's okay. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, he's just so good. Like Dwayne Johnson, he's fun. He's an action star. He's a brand. Dave Batista is killing it. He's killing it, dude. He's got Blade Runner 2049, another Denis Villeneuve, because
Yeah. A small role, but, like, a very impactful one
he's
because
very quiet.
of, like, his lines that he delivered. I forget exactly verbatim. It's like, Dave Bautista, he said to Ryan Gosling, "That's because you've never seen a miracle." And he just, like, said it with so much passion and heart that
Yeah.
you know, it hits you, man. It's like, he kinda turns into a gentle giant for a minute.
Yeah, and I think in that movie he was a replicant because I know in the
No,
beginning
he was a
because he
replicant.
dies. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a while. I didn't get a chance to rewatch it. That's a very good movie. Speaking of replicant, did you see the first one, the first Blade Runner with Harrison Ford?
No, I haven't,
Personally,
but
I think that and Aliens is one of Ridley Scott's best movies. I mean, it's top three, and then I think Gladiator's number three for me. But
I know the speech of, Tears in the Rain from that
yeah,
movie. That's, like,
very
the only scene I've ever really seen.
beautiful scene. And I think I'm being a little biased because I'm a big sci-fi guy, so that's why I'm saying that. But in the first Blade Runner movie, there's a big theory that Deckard, Harrison Ford's
Harrison Ford.
character, might be a replicant and not human.
I've seen that theory too.
So what do you
Uh,
think? Because
based
of that,
off of the fact
because of
that
the
I
ending of the
haven't seen
unicorn.
the movie, I
Oh, that's
would
right.
like to believe that, um, he is a replicant, but he doesn't know it.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing where it's like, well, then if he is, does he know? Does he not know? Because he's killing other replicants. And I think it's really cool that 2049 starts with you looking at the top left of the screen, which in the movie is how you can tell the difference between a replicant and the actual person, from what I remember. Could be wrong.
Yeah. There's, like, a little, like, green eye, like, trick that
Well,
they
it's like when you look in the top left, there's like something near the corner of their eye that like gives it away. Like there was something. I got to rewatch both of them. But the reason why it starts like that is to just kind of like have a nod to that.
Okay, so do you think, Ridley Scott secretly, planted that seed, that idea into to the audience to
Well, that
test
was no,
that.
that was 2049. The looking to the left.
Oh, okay, alright, well,
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
did I say the first? No, no, did I say the first Blade Runner?
I thought we were still on Blade Runner.
No, I may have misspoke. Whatever. Uh, Either way, I think Denis is a fantastic writer and director because the
Yeah,
way he writes with the heaviness of like every emotion. Like nobody in that movie was wasted. No shot in that movie was wasted. Everything was building upon something else. That's why I think Dune 2 is going to be a fantastic sequel. It will be obviously better than the first movie.
trailer looks amazing.
Yes. I'm really
And
pissed.
writing and Worm was pretty tight. I
Yeah,
like that.
and I'm actually super excited to one day on a prayer and hope play the game. And there is a Dune, I think it's a open world game.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know they had a trailer. They dropped a
like an
trailer.
RPG.
Huh?
Yeah, it was a cinematic trailer they dropped of, I think there was a sandworm in it.
I think he's literally I don't know who it is, but it's someone running to yeah, it's called Dune Awakening. It is a open world survival MMO, which is rad. So that's gonna be cool.
Who are the developers?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Because that depending on it, that
I don't
I'm
know.
just
Hold on.
hoping
What happened?
it's no, I'm just hoping that, like, the developers of that game aren't, like, I mean, because there are some shoddy games that are coming out lately from, companies that, really bum me out, and I'm trying to be as vague as possible. I don't
What do
wanna
you mean?
be put on blast.
What do you mean?
Oh, I mean, like, there are
Oh,
certain, like
it's being made by Funcom, by the way. Sorry,
okay, Funcom, who's that?
I don't know. I've never heard of them. Hold on. What
I did.
games?
We are not gonna move on until we figure this out.
Yeah. Well, that's how we normally go to podcast. Okay. They made literally
Oh,
nothing. Huh.
they made Conan Exiles?
Never heard of it.
Oh, no, man.
Oh, Conan the Barbarian?
Yeah, but it
Oh. They actually did another Dune game called Dune Spice Wars.
they did. Yeah, I see that.
That's pretty rad.
Is that a card game?
I don't know actually.
I don't know. Maybe they updated Conan Exiles. I'm trying to be optimistic. I was kinda hoping it would be a
Yeah,
pretty
I know you're
like
I know you're being optimistic, which is a new thing for
a
you, frankly. So, where are we
I'm
going? I'm so
trying.
lost.
I am
What were we talking
trying.
about again? Oh, the Dune open world. I'm so god. I'm so gone, dude.
I think we have to change the thumbnail to our faces having a breakdown,
Yeah,
and we
just like
can't get through this episode. Like,
I need a
ye
shot of every
we
espresso.
yeah, this is,
All right, come on. Let's go. All
for 2 of you
right.
listeners, we're
I
we're
think we're
just
putting them to
we're
sleep.
exhausted.
Let's kick it back in gear. I Okay. So, Dune, fantastic movie. Josh Brolin in that scene where he's training Paul and which by the way, they did that little defensive barrier with the
By the
sword
way, did
much
not know
better.
Josh Brolin was in that movie.
You did watch it, right?
No, I know. I did watch it, but
Oh, you were
I
tired.
didn't want like, first off,
He was
I
a
the
gurney.
first time I watched it, I didn't finish it because you know why.
Yeah.
The second time, which was last night,
Mhm.
I did not know that Josh Brolin was in it.
Well, yeah, he plays Officer or Sergeant Gurney. He is the person that's training Paul Atreides to go to Arrakis. because I think he has dealt with Fremen before, and so he's trying to like teach him on how to like use like
His
their
power.
no, not his power, like to use like his fighting skills to fight on their level. Like he's trying to teach him like, hey, they're gonna be vicious. And that small speech he gives, he like pulls the emphasis on brutal was cool. Was really cool. I don't know if you watched that scene. It's where they're just training, and it's so cool.
I
And
mean, I did. That just it was like
well, I'm just saying, go back and rewatch it. It's super super sick.
for me, it was like a silent movie where they were saying a bunch of nonsense that well, I don't mean to say nonsense like that. They're just saying a bunch of gibberish that just I wasn't retaining that information. So I was just hoping that like by watching it visually, I could sort of piece together everything. And didn't work.
I get that. Like I'm not gonna say it's like, oh, you're stupid. Like I get it. Dune isn't really a movie for everybody. Like I get it. Like it's for a very niche audience. So
Did we already preface that like I've been overworked and I
yeah,
was
no,
under
it doesn't matter. You're human. It's fine. So it's okay.
so I want to be
It-
cool like you, James, and get it on the first watch.
well, not everyone can be like me, but it's well. Uh, when I was watching it with Sophia and her family, and everybody but me was asleep, and I'm just like in it. Like I loved it. I loved every second. Movie was over, and Sophia goes, "I swear to God," she goes like this. She goes, "That was so boring." Like she was just mad that she wasted 2 hours of her time. Like that movie was fantastic. Either way, I'm super excited for Dune 2. I really hope that it's much better than the first movie, just because it needs to be.
It yeah, yeah. I really want to read the book to do because it's
There's a lot of
those like
books, dude.
it's those kind of wait. There's more than one book of Doom.
Oh yeah, because Paul Atreides isn't like the main guy the entire time. Like Paul Atreides is the person that kind of like sets up what happens in this universe, and there's like another successor in this story of I don't want to say like rebellion, but like that spiritual war that he was whispering about when he was in the little tent. He's like spiritual warfare across planets that spread like a holy fire, like that. When he was
Yeah,
in near the end of the movie, that is kind of like where it's like building to, from what I remember. It's been a while, but Paul Atreides isn't the guy like the entire time. It's so much more. So that's what I kind of liked about it, is that it didn't
Warner
revolve
Brothers.
around.
This is Warner Brothers who like distributed the movie, right? Like they own the
Yes,
rights to Doom.
they did distribute it because it was on Max.
Watch them once Denny leaves. They're just gonna start trying to make a whole entire cinematic universe to Doom.
Yeah, they're gonna do Dune Titans Go. Like it's gonna be Paul Atreides in a cartoon format.
Why was that where your brain went
Because that
directly? Just
because they
go
take
right.
something good, and they do
Makes sense.
something
Yep, I see
completely
your thought
opposite.
process now.
Now,
I see you.
maybe I'm
Okay.
hating on it because I wasn't
I
the I'm just probably hating on it because I wasn't the target demographic. It's a very successful show. It's still going on.
very successful. It's just you and I, hopefully you guys know that we were there at the first Teen Titans cartoon.
Did you see
The
on my
road
did you see on my story? Not my personal, but the TV podcast story. You guys can check us out on TV podcast at Instagram. I posted the two singers that did the first Teen Titans Go theme song. They were like
uh,
singing it with it in the background.
they were singing in the background of
No,
what?
no. So like in the background was like the animation they would play when the theme song would come on, and then it's
Uh,
the two girls that sang the song. They're like, "When there's trouble, you know who to call."
Teen Titans.
Thank you. Really hoping you were gonna let that layup go out, man. And so they do the whole theme song, and that song just rules, dude. So before we actually get on the next topic, I do want to go back just to talk about Denis is a fantastic writer. I really do hope he gets more chances to write whatever he directs, because on his IMDb credit, which is something I also accidentally didn't go over, he has 11 writer credits and 23 directorial. And a lot of the stuff that he has written is like in collaboration or dialogue, but he's been a writer for like short stories, and a lot of other great movies. Like he did one called Maelstrom. I heard a lot of good things about. I have not seen it, but it's from exactly actually 2000s. And he did one episode of The Art of Seduction. He did a movie called Polytechnique, Incendies, which we said earlier. But his biggest one is Dune, like in terms of like scale and
Yeah.
from what I hear most of it. I haven't heard the other ones, but I'm sure they're
Even with
fantastic.
even with Blade Runner 2049, there was still that there's that small intimate indie side of it where it could have like gone straight. There were like a couple of set pieces where explosions were happening, but it was like a personal conflict more than like an actual like, grand scale event. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. I
And
really do.
and with Dune, it was more like, all right, now we're the scale is gonna get even bigger, and we're on like different planets right now, and it's not in space, it's just on a different planet, and
Yeah.
we're exploring the world, and there's actually a war happening between two factions,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
I love Blade Runner 2049 for that like personal aspect, just based off of the fact that and I'm gonna ramble just 2 more seconds because it just is it 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 could have sold itself out and just been like a blockbuster, summer movie, but like Dennis Denny what is his name? James, help me.
Denis Villeneuve. I can't be
Yeah,
saying I did it perfect either. I got it wrong
God,
forever.
'cause, we love him so much. We want to make sure we say his name right. He. I lost my train of thought. Blade Runner 2049. I love it. Let's move on.
It's a very good movie. It is a
God.
really good movie. I was very impressed with Ryan Gosling and just the cinematography of 2049 and Blade Runner itself. It's very different because with Blade Runner it was a lot of practical sets, there was a lot of miniatures, and I actually got to walk down. Did a tour on the Warner Brothers lot years ago, and I got to walk down one part of the set, like the city set that's normally just like that, like you see on How I Met Your Mother. But they redecorated the whole thing for this like tight shot of when he's like when Deckard's walking down and he's walking by like all like those like food truck kind of like tight spaces with all the food
Yeah.
stuff. That was kind of neat. But Denis Villeneuve, absolutely fantastic director, absolutely fantastic writer. He does have an upcoming project, which is that's coming up real soon. He does though have another. Actually, has two writing credits that are coming up. Both, I'm sure, are going to be fantastic. I love his.
What was that other one?
It's in
Rendezvous.
development. It's in development. It's
Oh,
nothing
okay.
nothing
So
much yet.
nothing much other
No,
than the title.
nothing much yet. But I do though. I do want to go back and rewatch the Sicario movie. I saw that a long time ago.
You're gonna need
That
some drinks,
what's wrong with Sicario?
dude, because that is an intense movie.
Yeah, it looked. I remember watching. I didn't watch all of it. I watched a portion. I think I was like I don't remember where I was. I think it was like on a plane or something. And then I had to go, so I couldn't finish it. But I did rewatch Arrival. That's a
That
sick movie.
is very that is that movie makes you feel smart. When you watch it, you're like, I'm a genius. And it also has like a very clever jump scare as well that you know exactly what I'm talking about. You remember like when
Oh, she's talking to the yeah.
she's she's talking and then she turns it
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
turns.
yeah.
Hey, also by the way, that jump scare, I don't know if it's true, but it's just a theory. I feel like that is a callback to one of his original movies, Enemy, because that jump scare plays out a lot like the same of like the original Enemy. And I'm not going to tell you exactly what
Oh,
happens because I want you to
but
watch.
let me guess. It's a giant spider.
How do you know that was
You
so
said
good?
you said it's all about spiders like in his movie Enemy, but there's like a jump scare I don't want to tell you about.
There is one jump scare that I'm never going to tell you, but one day we're going to watch.
And then you went, there's a scene that kind of reminded me of this movie.
Ugh, I can't.
To quote
I'm
you
bad
about how you feel about
with
Arrival,
secrets.
I'm smart.
I'm bad with secrets or surprises.
You are Colin.
I want
You
to
are
talk about
genuinely to the listeners. He is the worst at keeping a personal secret for himself. Like we're setting
it.
up we're setting up Marvel D&D for our friends. I'm setting up a small one just so everyone get like the idea of how it works. 6-minute campaign, nothing big. maybe even shorter, just so we can just get everybody moving and understanding. Then same day, he's going to kick off his campaign. And for those who have played D&D, the DM, or what is in the Marvel Universe Dungeons and Dragons when it's called the narrator, you cannot tell anyone who is playing a singular thing. You can maybe say it's a fun story or you're going to have a great time. You can say things to describe how the others are probably going to feel about it, but you cannot give more than that. And Colin, for the life of him, is just saying like, okay, but like the next thing I'm going to do is this, this, and this. I'm like, hold on, is this for your D&D thing? He goes, yeah. I hung up the phone because I maybe told you 5 times in that week, and it was Thursday. I just don't say anything. You
I
can't.
was pretty sad when you
You
hung up
can't
on
say
me.
anything, Colin. The point is that we're not supposed to know. And Colin's like, yeah, but like it won't be
Can
as
I say I'm
fun.
proud of it?
I hung up when you asked that question. If you could say you're proud of it, because I don't know where that question was ending with "Can I say?" I took a chance.
Yeah, but To-Vie listeners, he's actually very nice. He called back immediately.
Yeah, well, reluctantly, I was scared. I don't know what you were gonna
Yeah.
go with.
You remember at that game night party, I accidentally basically said it, and you
Yeah,
you yelled
in
at
front
me.
of 5 people that we're gonna be playing with.
Yeah.
You practically told the whole party.
You know those moments where like you think of a memory or something embarrassing and you shout it out, whether in a shower or you're like, ah, because you
You
just
get you
remember
get you
how
get
embarrassing
that
it is.
icky feeling. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah. I've been haunted by that ever since.
It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I just didn't want you to give away so much that we're like, all right, well now you got to pick something else.
Yeah.
Because the more
But
you talk
real
about it,
quickly,
the more you talk about it, the less you can do it.
the less I can do. Okay, real
So if
quickly,
you want
TV.
if you want to do Marvel Zombies, hush up. Oh, listeners, yes, they're playing with us. No one we know listens to this.
Damn, man.
Actually, yeah, on the
I don't know
outside, yeah,
what
that
to
does.
say. I
Actually, yeah,
don't know what to
yeah. Actually, you know
say.
what? That was a little self-deprecating. Either let's move on. The WGA, they won. They finally won. I just
Wait, hold on. Can you hear that?
a little bit.
Is
All
that
right.
coming up? Because like when I
Yeah,
do that, it just cuts out the entire sound, and
yeah.
then
I
it
was
just
gonna
fucks.
overlay it with a clap at sound effect
Oh,
afterwards.
okay, cool,
So
cool, cool, cool. All right, cool. I fucked that up
flex.
too.
So
Awesome.
they finally got a very very good deal. The WGA, right? 100 and I think 48, 47 days of striking, and they got it. They got it. They did it. So proud of them. The
Do you
WGA
think
did
there's
it.
still actors out there protesting? They
Who?
just don't know that the deal went through.
What do you mean? What?
No, I just said, do you think if actors are out there and
Well,
they're still
actors are
protesting?
still out there. SAG-AFTRA is still striking.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
I know
the
nothing
no,
about
the
this.
you really wow. So WGA went on strike in I think July. No, June, July, I think. Uh, and then about a week later, SAG-AFTRA joined. No, maybe more than that. 4 weeks later, SAG-AFTRA joined.
Okay. So
I'm getting my days
I
mixed up,
might
but basically,
I might be dyslexic then because WGA and SAG, I don't know what it is, but those letters look the same to me.
well,
You
I
fill
get
out
that.
a bunch of letters, you pull out politicians, you give me a math problem, I zone out.
Basically, any conversation that isn't a movie.
Yep.
Even then,
Which is
sometimes.
which is terrible because that mentality that
Well, why do you
provides
want
a
to talk about anything
terrible
else that
work
isn't your
ethic.
hobby? Either way, but
Yeah.
hold on. So WGA struck for a long time. Then SAG-AFTRA joined. I want to say 4 weeks. Then it was a WGA SAG-AFTRA strike. It was both of them striking at the same time because they both were needing fair deals, rightfully so. So WGA got their first contract, months ago. Didn't really work. Was a horrible deal. We all saw that. They posted the stuff that the studios were like saying not going to happen, and it was stupid stuff that they were denying, basic needs. Then on Monday, I think it was, or Tuesday, they got a they got a deal. Like they came to a settlement. It was finalizing everything. It wasn't Monday. Maybe it was Tuesday. Well, sorry, Sunday. Sunday. They came to a deal. They got everything. They were finalizing the wording and everything. And then by Wednesday at 12:01, the strike officially ended. They got their deal. Everybody got the contracts. Everybody got everything they needed. They got the rights to everything else.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, like low energy Colin, he's still very happy about this. He's still. I am. We have been watching this thing unfold. I cannot believe it's been 150 days.
147.
Wow, that is feels like it happened like not that long ago, but also it feels like such a long time. That's at all at
It
once.
was about 4 months that they struck, and they did it absolutely perfectly. And
I
I'm couldn't
remember
be happier.
I remember the call you gave me where it's like we're gonna have to change things up at Tu-Vie, you
Well,
know.
yeah, because I didn't want to do this thing and like like we know a lot of people in that industry who want to go in the industry, and I know some
Yeah,
people in that industry, and I didn't want to do something like this that I really enjoy doing and not show support for the people who deserve the support, not because like I didn't want to be canceled. None of that. I wanted to use this and say, hey, these people need to be treated right. And I think a lot of other jobs that are now doing that, like Starbucks, I think they just went on strike for a little bit. Starbucks workers have been doing this for ages, striking out and saying like, "Hey, we're not going to work until we get better wages." I think they just got to deal with something. Auto workers are doing it. VFX artists are now doing like every single person that are in crazy busy jobs
this is
getting
a domino effect.
yeah. Oh, so rightfully so. And that is the problem that some of the studio executives were like, well, we don't want to give them. I'm paraphrasing. Like we don't want to like give in to this thing because it's going to set a standard for everybody else that are in these industries. I'm like, yeah, working for a fair wage.
Was that
Boo
Nicholas
hoo.
Cage?
That's such a problem. No, it should start a domino effect. Like I don't remember who it said. I'd be like, it's just going to start a domino effect of problems. I'm like, good. You need these problems. You need people standing up for what they deserve.
Yeah.
It was the dumbest things I've ever heard actual people form in their brain and say with their mouths. So every person that's striking right now, way to go. Keep going. VFX artists, I think they voted yes to strike. I don't know if they're striking now, and I know that that was a VFX artist at Marvel. I think there's more companies starting to do that. Video game companies are starting to do that too. They took a vote. They voted yes with I think a 98.3% total vote of yes to I think begin progress for strikes. I didn't really read that all of it, but yes, the phone call was like super to like I wanted to go on it right then and there because I didn't want to like I didn't want to be behind on showing the support. I really wanted to do that first and foremost.
Yeah.
It was super important to me.
It's been one hell of a ride too.
It's
I
been
mean, we
awesome.
the writers finally got what they wanted, fairly, and now the next fight is actors, and then it's video games,
Yes,
and we're watching we're watching entertainment collapse and rebuild itself, and it's amazing.
I agree. It's
I
super
only
great.
say it's amazing in terms of like people wanting to get something that they feel like they deserve based off of their hard work and their commitment, because a lot of those people dedicate their entire livelihoods in that business and they don't get much back. So that's the part I really,
I agree. These people just they deserve all the fair contracts. And the new contract showed that this is the terms that they agreed. This not all of them. This is just the bigger ones. They agreed on terms to ensure a minimum staffing in TV writers' room. In the development rooms, at least 3 writers, including the showrunner, are guaranteed 10 weeks of employment. Once greenlit, the shows the minimum amount of writers are required for a TV series. So if it's 6 or fewer episodes, it's a minimum of 3 on both of them. Minimum number of writers in writers room is 3. Minimum writer producers in writers room is 3. If it's 7 to 12 episodes, it's 5 minimum in writers room and then 3 minimum writer producers. 13 plus is 6 of writers in writers room, 3 writer producers in writers room. So they got enough writers in the room, which is something that they Cameron mentioned a few weeks ago too. Maybe it was last week. that the writers' room was a really big deal for them because they did like mini rooms. I kind of like cut corners on giving them more money. Minimum staff must be guaranteed at least 20 weeks in the entire duration of the post greenlit room, which is whichever is shorter. So it's a lot. And then this Monday, I believe AMPTP and SAG-AFTRA are to meet at the SAG-AFTRA. Oh, sorry, are to meet, and SAG-AFTRA has insisted the AMPTP gets out of their, in their quotes, puny shopping mall that they call their headquarters and instead negotiate at SAG-AFTRA's HQ. So they're definitely working on that, which I'm really glad to hear.
And what more? All right, so I know that like Aaron Paul, not Aaron, what Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad? I
Yes,
said that right?
yes,
Cool.
yeah.
I know that Aaron Paul, one of the points that he brought up, which was pretty true, to be honest, is that like, streaming services taking shows, putting them on their platforms, more people watch that show on that particular platform like Netflix, and their numbers go up. But the actors or anybody else that worked on that, they don't get much at all from that, except for like the company that let Netflix take that show. So what other like rights are they fighting for that?
I didn't read the
That's
full
a weird
thing.
way for me to
No, I
put
get it.
that.
They're so in the contract they added a lot of stuff. I didn't read all of them, and I don't think they posted everything. But the biggest things that they were showing was the writers' room. Studios also have agreed to provide the writers with streaming data for self-produced high-budget shows. Studios provide the WGA details of a show's viewership, including total number of hours streamed worldwide, and then foreign residuals are now based on the streaming service's number of foreign subscribers, a 76% increase. That's like I said, everything that's just was posted out on social media. I don't know all of the detail, but I know that it was important and good enough for WGA to take the deal and AMPTP to be like, you guys deserve a fair deal, or that's what I at least hope they said. But WGA fought for the deal that they needed, and they most certainly got it. And a thing
Good.
actually that happened this week also is that Netflix got caught trying to film pedestrians and make them unintended scabs for B-roll for a series named The Perfect Couple. Local SAG-AFTRA members were able to picket the shoot, and the IATSE members also refused to cross the picket line. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but I just know that was circling around the old inner swarms.
Uh oh, that is
Wild.
confusing. That is confusing.
Yeah, it's wild.
Jesus. Oh, dude. How do
Dude,
you feel? How do you
I
feel?
feel so happy that the WGA got their deal, but I am also we still need to have the talk about how we're going to be doing things. So that I want to do something that shows them like we did for the writer strike, and we're still going to be doing because I found a lot of fun with it. The WGA, we wanted to get writers their spotlight, and maybe weren't absolutely perfect with it. We probably went on some tangents, just how we go. But I wanted to make sure that the writers still got their chance to be seen and heard. So I don't
Yeah.
know if maybe we do the same thing with actors and everything, but either way, I still want to show support with SAG-AFTRA, and they haven't like posted any like donation sites that they had for WGA, like their like a snack line and all those other things that we posted on our story. I would assume if they donate to that website, they can donate to SAG-AFTRA. I really don't know right now, but I'm definitely keeping an eye out and going to be posting on our Instagram and TikTok, which you guys can check out. But there is a lot of fun things that can happen now with the WGAs. They're back at work, but a lot of few things I don't understand is happening. And I know we're running really long on time. We're almost done, but there's a quick little segment I like to just add right here. It's called What the Hell? It is a new thing that I just want to do this one episode because of the stuff that I've heard this week.
Okay.
So, what the hell? They're rebooting The Office.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I was pretty surprised with um the internet's response because I thought that's what they wanted. They wanted a reboot of The Office.
No, they just want Steve Carell back.
Oh, and he's not coming back?
Did you watch The Office?
No, I watched The Office, but like he
He
came back
left
for yeah, but he came back at the end of the series. And I'm
one
just,
episode.
I know, but like it's a different time. So like, he could probably I mean, he probably isn't retired in that universe. He's probably still working for a paper company.
No, no,
Or
no.
he's got to be working a job, dude, because
No,
he's married and has
Colin.
kids.
Colin. No, 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 no.
I mean, he has to come back.
Colin, he doesn't have to because you know why? It would ruin every. It already ruined the show when he left. I'll be real. I just watched it to say I finished it, but
And what's the point of a reboot?
that's what everyone's asking, Colin. That's what
I
everyone's asking.
know.
I don't know what
Just
that means.
mad.
I don't know. Let me also
They
do
could
this.
probably bring him back.
Yeah. Let me also do this. What the hell? The Golden Globes have revealed new awards categories: Best Cinematic and Box Office Achievement and Best Performance in a Stand-Up Comedy. For the Best Cinematic and Box Office Achievement, eligible nominees are blockbusters are both the highest earning that also deliver creative excellence. They must gross at least 150 million worldwide.
Isn't that like two different? Doesn't that sound like two different like
I
cat
really did think it was two different
together?
categories. It's just one long one. I just feel like there are other awards that are like nomination categories that people can use, like for the Oscars or Golden Globes, like best stunt performance. I think stunt guys get underappreciated. Those guys put their bodies through hell just to get a really good shot. Like the guys in Extraction. Yeah, Lee.
Yeah. The best stand-up though, actually, that's pretty cool because now that like stand-up comedy, like, it's more attainable because Netflix is more attainable. Most people and most people have Netflix, and so they recognize some comedians. And also I love living in a world where hopefully one day Tom Segura might get an Oscar.
There was this. She was a very very funny. So she still is a comedian. I don't know if her special is still on Netflix. I don't know why. I haven't just seen it
Big
on my.
Natar?
No, Taylor Tomlinson. That's the name. Taylor Tomlinson has a special on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there. Hopefully it still is. She is so funny, dude. Taylor Tomlinson. She was gonna come close to where I am. There was one night she was like gonna be in concert. I wanted to buy the tickets so fast. But I'm watching my money right now and I'm saving up. I never felt more sad in my life to go see other people go to a show I wanted to go to. Like
What's her name again? Taylor
Taylor
Thomas?
Tomlinson. I don't know if it's with an H. I think it's Tomlinson for Tomlinson. She's so funny. I've seen that special like 6 times. She's so funny. But yeah, stand up
Oh,
comedy, huh?
I recognize her.
Yeah, I think everyone's seen it like on Instagram or TikTok and everything. She had a few TikTok audios. She's so funny. I absolutely love her performance. And another thing with what the hell? Did you watch Triangle of Sadness?
Final Sadness.
Came out
No.
last year.
No.
Okay, really good movie, very unique. But the guy, Paul King, the director of Paddington 3, compares the movie to the twisted survivalist elements of Triangle of Sadness. So what the hell is Paddington 3 gonna be?
Whatever it is, it's gonna be amazing.
It's probably gonna be fantastic. It's probably gonna get another 100% on Rotten Tomatoes because Paddington,
I think when we
fantastic.
watch I think when we watch it, we're gonna be a lot like Danny DeVito and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where we get it. We're like, what's
I
the next
actually,
one?
the last one I had was just the Office reboot, which we kind of got ahead of ourselves with. Just one other quick thing before we start wrapping up. Shaun of the Dead turned 19, so you guys can go check out our Edgar Wright episode and a very fun episode coming very soon. I'm super excited to get those out there, so you guys can check us out. I think the Edgar Wright one is episode 19, 18, episode 18.
And Edgar Wright one's my personal favorite.
That was a
I
fun
mean,
one.
one of them at least.
That was a fun one.
That's where we got our favorite Cameron moment. Batman couldn't get that out.
Oh yeah, Batman. I feel like there was one other thing we were going to talk about. Oh, that's right. Stranger Things fan was catfished by a scammer who claimed to be Dacker. I think his name is Montgomery, who plays Billy Hargrove in the series. The now single mother says she left her husband after meeting the scammer online and sending him over estimated $10,000 over the year. I don't know how to take this other than just wow. I would
I
never also do the news article about this. I'd be like, I want to keep the shame private.
Yeah, Batman couldn't get that out of me. Like my head under the Batmobile's wheel, I would not say a word.
Arkham Knight.
I'm glowing green. I ain't telling anything.
The husband, dude, the husband now has the greatest story to tell on the rest of his dates.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great one. I love that line. And then, sorry. Oh, I had a good back crack there. One thing I am very excited to possibly see is that the Disney animation chief would love to pitch a Tron animated movie. Because Tron Resurgency? What is it called? The one with Jared Leto? What is that new one? By the way, of all people, Jared Leto.
Jared Leto over the years has somehow like made himself hateable. I think it all started when he was the Joker.
Was it?
Or it could have
Was
been
it
something
that?
like
Yeah, don't say. He being a really weird guy in the Suicide Squad really didn't make him that appealing. Yeah, don't say. Tron Ares, by the way, is that new movie with Jared Leto. It has nothing to do with the actual sequel that is Tron Legacy. I don't think a lot of people know that Tron Legacy is both reboot and sequel to actual.
There's a documentary called The Cult of Jared Leto.
Awesome. We gotta watch that. Tron Legacy is so good. Like by the way, it is in no way like a perfect movie. People have their gripes with it. I get it. But that movie just rules. Like Daft Punk on the score, the VFX is good, and I like how even the suits that they wore are practical. There's a podcast I listen to, Raiders of the Lost podcast. They're such a great podcast, and they did a whole episode about Tron Legacy, and they did all that good stuff. So if you guys want to check those guys out, they're great. Go check them out. But those suits, I think, costed like $3,000 or something. Like it was an expensive amount just for the suit, and they had to like replace the batteries every so often because they kept dying out. And so what they did is that they turned them off because like the lines on the suit and they turned them on right before they hit go on recording, and then right as they hit cut they turned it off so they can preserve the battery longer because they kept dying out. So
that is
I
that is a lot of production.
Oh, it's so much production.
So much money as well for the batteries.
Yeah, and I really do hope they make this Tron animated movie because Tron Uprising, which I think is the name of the show, that was on Disney XD with Elijah Wood as the guy, the main character. Which did you know that was Elijah Wood?
When you told me, something clicked in my brain. Was like, oh, I remember James telling me that before.
Yeah, Frodo was the main guy in Tron Uprising, and I remember.
I think that was we talked about this in one of our earlier episodes.
I think we did too.
A really fun walk back to memory.
Yeah, we had Joss Whedon a few episodes ago.
So young
and fresh. But yeah, that Tron movie I think would be really cool as an animated movie. I think they could do a lot more. I think they could do a lot better stuff with.
Yeah. Do you ever? I have a question for you real quickly before we wrap things up.
Naturally.
Are you ever afraid of like going back to our old episodes and rewatching them?
No, because I like to know where I went wrong. I like to go back and fix the mistakes.
And I understand that mentality.
Yeah,
but there's still that fear, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Like I hate the sound of my own voice, and I hate it, and especially now that I edit the thing too. It's like I gotta hear me consistently.
Oh man,
it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it is what it is. So that'll have to be end on episode 22 for the closing credits there. Colin, can you guess next week's director?
Ridley Scott.
Wow. Look at you.
Oh, I thought you were going to wait for a long pause and be like, no.
Well, I really thought you were going to say something like, really? And then I was going to say no, because it's wrong. So no, it is not Ridley Scott. It is a lot better in my head. It is Tim Burton. Tim Burton is our next director.
Yeah, let's go.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Whoa. You didn't even give that reaction to Edgar Wright, and you love Edgar Wright.
I've been very sad lately.
What the hell?
I
Was
needed
that?
it. I don't know where that came from. I'm kind of scared. I scared myself. Oh, yeah. I'm shaking.
Well, I haven't seen you that energetic since like the seventh
Dun,
grade.
dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Wow. Audio listeners, go back and watch the video of that because I was frozen in fear, my guy. Jeez. Wow. So yeah, next week we're having Tim Burton as our writer director and a very special guest coming on at that time too.
Tim Burton?
Yes, we're gonna have Tim Burton on the show.
Oh shit, he's probably not busy. I don't know what he's doing.
He's probably writing Wednesday Addams right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot he does do that.
Yeah. Did you watch that show by the way?
A couple of episodes, but only in the middle of the season.
Was it good?
I liked what I was seeing.
Sophia said it was great. She watched
Yeah,
it.
like
The whole thing with the family.
it's not offensive, and it does have those small sprinkles of like CW-isms of like relationships, but it doesn't cross any lines, you know. And I'll be honest, Wednesday as a character, adorably fun. She is like, you know, she's just she Jenna Ortega carries the show just based off of like her deadpan, like, you know, witty isms, and plus that dance is pretty fire. I hate to hop on that trend, but in the context of that show and the song and everything, it is a fun scene.
I didn't really watch the show.
Definitely give it a watch with your family at some point.
I mean,
it's one of those.
They're too busy watching Suits right now.
Oh, that's a different show.
It's a very different show, and I don't think they like it as much. But yeah, that'll have to be roll credits on season 2, episode 22. 2 all the way there. Thank you guys again for watching. If you guys enjoyed the episode, please sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or even on YouTube. If you guys watching it there, subscribe and go check out our other episodes too. We got the entire season 1 catalog on Spotify, Apple Podcast exclusively, and season 2 is on both YouTube, everywhere else you get podcasts. Also check us out on Instagram and TikTok. We're there. We have a weekly game going out right now, and since the writer strike is coming back, we may throw back in another weekly game we used to do. So be sure to stick around for those. Thank you guys again for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Have you ever danced for the devil in the pale moonlight?
I like asking that question. I like the way it sounds. I ask that question to all my victims.